My question is about how long we can expect affair recovery to take. For us, it's been almost 5 years, and some things are better, but there's a lot that's not. Neither of us is happy with where our marriage is, and to be honest, I don't think either of us has very much hope for things getting any better. Is this normal, or is there something else we should be doing?
One of the questions I often hear is, how long does it take to get over an affair? People want a number, 3 months, a year, 2 years, anything that tells them how far they still have to go. But recovery doesn't follow a strict schedule. There's no quick calculation that gets you back to normal. It moves at the pace of honesty, empathy, courage. Some couples rush to escape the pain by any means. Others get trapped in it for many years. I'm Tim Tedder, creator of affairhealing.com, and today we'll explore why recovery times vary, what happens when the process moves too fast or too slow, and what a healthy affair healing pace looks like.
Welcome to The Recovery Room, a podcast presented by affairhealing.com.
In this healing place, in this healing place.
Every infidelity story is different, and so is every recovery. Some couples rebuild trust within a year. For others, it takes much longer. What makes the difference? Well, there are many factors, including the pattern of infidelity behavior, surrounding circumstances, the unique backstory each partner brings into the experience, and the quality of their effort. Affairs that were hidden for years take longer to heal because each season of dishonesty adds another layer of pain to unravel. Truth that trickles out in bits and pieces reopens the wound with every new revelation. So that makes recovery take longer too. If the betrayed partner carries old injuries from past betrayals or abuse or abandonment, then the pain deepens. And when the involved partner continues to harbor secrets, even some that may precede the affair, their ability to rebuild trust or experience personal change will be limited. If there's contact with the affair partner going on, even necessary contact, healing is constantly challenged. And help matters too. Couples who seek guidance from a counselor proficient in affair recovery often move through the process with more clarity. Those who try to figure it out on their own usually take longer, sometimes much longer, because most of us aren't really good at seeing our own problems. So instead of asking, how long should this take, ask, what's helping us move forward? And what's hindering us from doing that? During the years of my counseling practice, I've witnessed a wide variety of recovery timelines. On one end of the extreme was the couple who met with me just a few days after the affair discovery, and already they were saying, well, we've dealt with this, it's over, it's forgiven, now we just want some tips on how to grow our relationship. And on the other end of the measure was the couple who came to me more than 10 years after the husband's affair. They'd met with other counselors during that time, and I was the new attempt for answers. For 10 years, this couple had been repeating the same interactions of hurt, anger, blame, and retreat. The affair remained at the center of looping conversations with no end in sight. Let's consider these two circumstances: affair recovery that moves too fast and affair recovery that moves too slow. Let's start by looking at recovery that moves too fast. Sometimes, couples try to hurry through the pain. The betrayed partner wants relief. The unfaithful partner wants the shame to end. But rushing the process usually means skipping the deeper healing that actually changes things. Here's what that can sound like.
You said you'd tell me everything, but I keep finding pieces that don't fit.
Oh, we've gone over this a dozen times. I told you everything.
Yeah, but your explanations aren't helping. Like the time you said you just happened to bump into her at the store. Now I find out you texted her first.
I didn't plan on doing that. It just happened.
That's what you said about the affair.
Could we not do this again? I can't keep living in punishment mode.
It's only been 3 months. You're not the
3
one who...
months of the same questions, every night, every morning. You want honesty? I've given it. You want proof? I've shown it. What more do you want from me?
I want to believe you. But every time I try, something doesn't add up.
Maybe you just don't want to believe me. Maybe you like being the victim.
Oh, you think I like this?
I think I'm done. I can't do this anymore. Either you quit dragging it out, or I'm gone.
Really? After all that's happened, you'd leave me now?
Honestly, it was a lot easier when you didn't know.
You mean it was easier with her?
Listen, this isn't good for either of us. Can't we just move on? I promise to cut her out completely if you promise to never bring it up again. I just want us to be normal again.
That moment feels heavy because it's real. When someone demands closure too soon, it usually isn't about strength, it's about fear. Fear of guilt, fear of more conflict, fear that if we linger in pain too long, everything will fall apart. But skipping the struggle doesn't save time. It just tries to shortcut the process that genuine change requires. I often think of the time when I was walking and I encountered the exact moment when a butterfly was emerging from its cocoon. I'd never witnessed this in real life before, so I instantly turned into the process with great interest as I watched the butterfly struggle to gain its freedom from that cocoon. I decided I needed to help the poor butterfly. I was a much younger man at the time, but old enough to know better. Still, I picked up 2 small twigs and helped pry the cocoon apart so the butterfly could escape. And it worked! The butterfly quickly climbed out of its bondage and clung to the outside of the cocoon as it tried to open its wings, still stuck together. And again, I wanted to help the poor creature move on from this agonizing effort to the flight I knew it would soon enjoy. So, once again, I used the twigs ever so gently to help pry its wings apart. If that butterfly could speak, I was sure it would be expressing profound gratitude for my help, a much quicker path toward the freedom it was about to enjoy. I watched, waited for it to fly. Instead, it seemed unsteady, struggling in ways I didn't understand. But after some time, it dropped to the ground, lying on its back, becoming weaker instead of stronger. And I knew I was now a witness to its dying. Only later did I learn that the butterfly needed the struggle of breaking free to gain strength. That struggle was necessary to build its muscles and force fluid into its wings so it could fly. What looked to me like suffering was actually an important part of its change. That hard part was the healing part. The same is true when it comes to affair healing. Infidelity inflicts a wound that none of us would wish on someone. But once it's there, true healing requires time. In an attempt to get over the pain as quickly as possible, some try to rush the process. Even some counselors are guilty of this. Their intentions are usually good, just like my desire to help the butterfly, but they try to push the couple through the struggle too quickly, avoiding the time it often takes to adequately deal with issues like betrayal trauma, secrets, shame, and trust. Clients come out of that process clinging to their cocoon, but about ready to drop. And on their own, couples often try to move through the process too quickly as well. And that's understandable. None of us likes pain, but too often the goal is simply to escape it rather than consider what the pain is trying to tell us. Here are some of the signs that indicate rushed recovery. 1. Forgiveness that is offered too quickly. We've talked about that in a previous podcast. 2. Toxic positivity. An insistence on focusing only on the positive or moving forward, glossing over real feelings of pain, anger, and loss. This attitude might come from either partner or even from friends and family. Friends and family might say, well, at least it's over now. You can move on. You should be grateful he's still here and wants to keep the marriage. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe this will help your marriage be better. Injured partners might put on a brave face and act as though they're fine when they're anything but. They shove the pain in a box and paint a smile on the front of it. The involved partner does this by pushing for quickly moving on from the past and only focusing on positive things for the future. Toxic positivity is pressure to immediately be okay, to focus only on silver linings and to skip over the hard feelings. But dealing with those feelings is part of the hard work that must be done. A third way that healing is rushed is by deflecting. The involved partner attempts to quickly move on and make everything okay without fully owning the damage they've done. This usually takes two forms, either quick fix apologies that expect quick forgiveness, or deflecting the blame to avoid feeling wholly responsible. It's the attitude that's expressed in the statement like, I said I'm sorry, why can't you just get over it? A crucial part of recovery is learning to sit with emotional discomfort without running from it. Remember, an avoidance might bring short-term relief, but it hinders long-term recovery. The uncomfortable conversation, the tears and anger, the counseling exercises, the period of estrangement or awkwardness, these are all the emotional workouts that over time build the muscle of your relationship back up. Research on betrayal constantly shows that healing is a process, one that unfolds over time, step by step. Now, the opposite problem is when recovery drags on without movement. Years may pass, but the same questions and accusations keep coming up. The couple's still living in the ruin, not in the rebuild. Time becomes a holding pattern, not a healer. Here's one example of what that can sound like.
So about next weekend, shall I go ahead and book the cabin for the trip? They still have that one with the lake view available.
The same lake where you two used to meet?
No, different lake, and you know that.
Yeah, just checking. Don't want to accidentally rent the honeymoon suite.
Why do you do that?
What? I was just kidding.
Well, it's not funny. It's been almost 3 years.
I'm allowed to have a sense of humor about this.
It's not humor. It's punishment disguised like a joke.
Oh, come on. You act like you're the only one who got hurt.
I know I hurt you. I've owned that every day. I've done the work, gone to counseling, been transparent, but what more do you want from me?
I want not to think about it every time we talk about anything real.
Then stop bringing it up.
You think I want to? You think I like being the guy whose wife...
No, don't. Please, don't finish that.
I'm sorry. It just slips out sometimes.
No, it doesn't just slip. You choose it, and you could choose not to. But every time you say something like that, it drags us back there. You say you forgave me, but I don't think you ever did.
Maybe I don't know if I can.
Then what are we doing? Because this half-life, it's not working.
I don't know.
That kind of a conversation doesn't explode as much as it erodes the relationship. Every joke, every jab, every sideways comment adds to the pile of resentment, slowly burying hope for a satisfying relationship. He's still living in the past, but she's trapped there with him. There are other things that stall the recovery process. Ongoing trickle truth that keeps reopening the wound and pulling trust even farther out of reach. Lingering contact with the affair partner. The involved partner's inability to offer empathy when faced with their partner's pain. A lack of shared vision for the relationship's future. Marriage problems that existed before the affair but haven't been addressed. Or a failure to gain insight into the personal changes needed for trust and intimacy to be restored. So, yes, affair recovery can happen too quickly and it can take too long. But real healing isn't about speed, it's about direction. Are you still moving towards change even if it's slower than you'd like? Those snags that keep catching you are actually showing you where attention is needed. If you ignore them, you'll keep looping through the same pain. But if you give attention to them, they can become springboards for meaningful growth. You know, sometimes couples are so focused on what's still wrong that they miss how much they're improving. As a counselor, I see the changes they can't because I don't live in their daily tension. When I meet with them week to week, I notice progress that's easy for them to overlook. And when I point it out, they often realize, oh, we actually are getting better. And here are some of the indicators that show recovery is happening. Conversations grow more open, even when they're hard. Triggers still happen, but they fade faster. You can talk about anything respectfully. You repair conflict instead of replaying it, and you start to feel small moments of safety returning. The process to experiencing those things might take a year, maybe a few years. There's no fixed schedule. What matters is that you're doing the work to emerge from what's bound you. Like the butterfly, your active engagement in the struggle strengthens you and leads you toward a new kind of freedom. If you'd like to go deeper, I've linked 2 articles in the episode notes, one about recovering too quickly, the other about taking too long. Personally, I've been focusing much of my work on one particular area of change, helping the unfaithful partner use their infidelity as a catalyst for becoming the person their partner needs. It's called the Renovate Project. The next online group is nearly full, but new ones are being scheduled. After more than 20 years of creating affair recovery resources, I believe Renovate may be my most significant contribution yet. If you'd like to learn more, go to affairhealing.com/renovate or check the link in the episode notes. Recovery after an affair takes as long as it takes for truth to deepen, for courage to grow, for love to learn how to be authentic. You can't rush that, and you can't stall forever either. What matters most is that you keep moving, even if you're sometimes stumbling forward, but still choosing the direction toward healing. When both partners commit to that path, time becomes an ally instead of an enemy, and the pain that once held you back becomes part of what transforms you. I hope you find your healing.